there is a large number of patients who have not been treated to support the claim that the government is succeeding in combating the outbreak in China.
There are many people with symptoms like yours who were turned away by hospital staff. Why did the hospitals do that?
The nucleic acid test was negative and the CT image was inconclusive. On January 11th, I had the feeling that this disease was as serious and contagious as SARS. I said that people in Wuhan could end up being barred from leaving the city and becoming persona non grata. Little did I know that this would turn out to be true.
Prior to January 11th, no one in your neighborhood paid attention to the disease?
No, none. The virus was known on January 1st or 2nd, but we were told there was no human-to-human transmission. There's not much to worry about. But on the night of January 18th, after I went to a bar, I didn't feel well. I was nauseous, weak, and panting for breath. On January 20th, I had a low fever when I was on the bus. I felt the fever was on the left side of my forehead, but not on the right. I felt strange, and I tested my forehead with my hand for a long time. After I got off the bus, the fever was gone. But I was short of breath and felt tightness in my chest. It didn't seem serious.
What are people like you thinking about when you are in this situation? Your symptoms are ignored by the community and the doctors.
I told others about my symptoms, no fever, no coughing. People said it's not the same infection. I told my family that I had the infection, but none of them believed me.
I see your medicines. Were they prescribed by a doctor or did you just buy them yourself?
I bought it myself. No doctor prescribed anything. I searched online and bought what was recommended. I have had constant and serious watery diarrhea every day. On the 23rd, I had diarrhea more than 10 times. I also lost my appetite, and my mouth was dry and tasted bitter. There was a guy by the Hankou railway station who was a confirmed case while he was in the Wuhan Jinyantan hospital. He told the reporter what he experienced, including the symptoms of a dry mouth and bitter taste. I remembered what he said.
It was said that all patients were released from the local makeshift hospitals. Where are those people now?
They were sent to other hospitals. A citizen who was recently released from the makeshift hospital near the bridge said that he was transferred to a local hospital. That facility had no medicine and no tests to monitor his sickness. There's one person in Qingshan district released from the makeshift hospital. He's been ill for 40 days. He said his 2 elderly relatives at home died from the infection. His cousin and aunt also showed mild symptoms. There are many people like me with mild symptoms. A girl from Shanghai was denied treatment or testing. Finally, she became very ill and her father took her back to Henan. She was again rejected by the hospitals in Henan. She's had a low-grade fever all this time. I have tried to comfort her. She says she's thinking about euthanasia. There's another patient in Beijing. He can only breathe through his mouth now. He and I share some symptoms, including insomnia. The sickness worsens at night, and that keeps him awake. For me, I wake every hour all night long. Before I started taking the medicine, it was really hard to fall asleep. It's really painful.
People are focusing on the patients with serious symptoms. Those of you with mild symptoms just don't get treatment or testing. It leaves you and your family in a very difficult situation. You have been ignored or neglected.
Our symptoms started with constant burping and gas. That is abdominal bloating, followed by flatulence. As for the Henan girl, she spent nearly 10,000 yuan, around $1,500, in Shanghai. She wanted to be diagnosed, but the hospital would not test her. She has to be admitted to the hospital to get a test that she would have to pay for. The cost is nearly 1,000 yuan, around $121 a day at the hospital. After spending 3,000, 4,000 yuan, around $400 to $500, the hospital still wouldn't do a nucleic acid test or give her a diagnosis. Several other hospitals treated her the same way.